Once upon a time, in the huge and lively kingdom of Zalimba, there ruled a righteous and wise king called Kofi. His leadership was defined by justice, compassion, and a great love for his people. King Kofi was recognized across the realm for his unrelenting devotion to justice, and his wisdom was admired not just by his people but by neighboring countries as well. One lovely morning, while King Kofi was wandering around the palace grounds, he spotted an uproar near the royal courtyard. He arrived to discover two farmers involved in a fierce quarrel. They were both claiming possession of a fertile piece of land that stood between their farms. King Kofi, with his royal order and placid manner, intervened. He listened intently to both farmers' arguments, as well as the witnesses they had brought along. After great contemplation, he stated, "My beloved people, I realize the value of this land to both of you. However, I cannot make a hasty judgment. I will need some time to reflect and seek guidance." The farmers bowed in respect and exited the royal grounds. King Kofi recognized that the choice he made would establish a precedent for future conflicts over land ownership in his realm. So he called his council of knowledgeable counselors to consider the situation. Among the counselors was a modest and old man called Anansi, recognized for his brilliance and profound knowledge of the people's customs. Anansi listened closely to the specifics of the conflict and then asked gently, "Your Majesty, might I suggest a solution that would not only resolve this particular dispute, but also serve as a timeless lesson for our kingdom?" King Kofi, always anxious to hear Anansi's advice, nodded in accord. Anansi said, "Your Majesty, let us split the disputed land evenly between the two farmers. However, there is a condition. They must labor together to nurture it and divide the produce evenly. This would not only fix the immediate situation, but also create collaboration and solidarity among our people. It will be a monument to your knowledge and fairness." King Kofi viewed Anansi's suggestion seriously and deemed it to be a brilliant answer. He brought the farmers back to the palace and communicated the verdict. They agreed to the conditions, appreciative for the king's wisdom in reaching a fair conclusion. As the months passed, the once feuding farmers, now allies, toiled side by side on the disputed property. They dug, planted, and reaped together, and their bond bloomed. The rich field generated copious harvests, and both farmers enjoyed success as they shared the spoils of their work. News of the king's prudent judgment and the happy relationship between the farmers went across the kingdom and beyond. King Kofi's reputation as a kind and intelligent ruler became even stronger. One day, a neighboring kingdom faced a similar land conflict. Their king, having heard of King Kofi's wisdom, dispatched ambassadors to seek his guidance. King Kofi received them warmly and related the tale of the two farmers and the solution that had brought peace and prosperity to his own country. Impressed by King Kofi's insight, the neighboring king accepted his instruction. The land issue in the nearby their homeland was settled without confrontation, and the two contending parties, inspired by King Kofi's example, chose to work together for the common good. Word of King Kofi's wisdom and his involvement in settling disagreements traveled far and wide. Kings and rulers from faraway nations sought his assistance on matters of justice and government. King Kofi's kingdom, Zalimba, grew not only in riches but also in its reputation for justice and peace. And thus, the narrative of King Kofi's wisdom and the two farmers became a timeless fable of fairness, collaboration, and the lasting legacy of a kind and wise monarch in the kingdom of Zalimba. And well beyond its boundaries, King Kofi's reign remained a light of hope and an example of how wisdom and justice might improve not only a kingdom but also the world itself.